The Laowa Proteus anamorphic lenses will be available soon with 8 focal lengths.
This is a Cinity Gear News video supported by B&H and CVP.
Hi, I'm Johnny from Cinity and I'm here with Steven from Laowa. Steven, how are you?
I'm doing very well. Thank you.
Is it comfortable? The beard itself, is it comfortable?
All you got to do is not shave. That's the trick.
And then it just grow like this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's the key. Just don't shave.
Guys, please vote if you want to see me like this soon. Actually, not. But there's always a wife who will say no way. But we're not here to talk about beard. We're here to talk about the Proteus, Laowa Proteus anamorphic lenses.
Yes.
And the squeeze factor is 2.
Yep.
First of all, I saw those first time, I think it was November last year.
Mm-hmm.
Are they already in the market?
So we're actually lined up. Pre-orders are in, ready to ship next month. Starting shipping in May. I believe even with the production schedule and pre-orders that we have, if you get another order in, it should still ship in May depending on the flare color that you're looking for.
How was it received in the market, the feedback that you got from creators?
The feedback has been great. Certainly last year we launched the nanomorphs, super small, opening up like this anamorphic, continuing to open up anamorphic to more and more shooters. And now with the Proteus line, having a full set of 2x squeeze anamorphics at a price point that it's not a low price point, but it's much more attainable than many of your traditional anamorphics that are out there and available.
Let's quickly remind our audience, when you say that the price is not so scary, what are we talking about here?
$5,000 a piece US.
Is there a discount if you get the 4 of them as a set, or?
There's a discount if you buy 2. Currently with the set we have, you can either get the 35 and the 60 or the 45 and the 85 as a set, and there is a discount when you buy them together.
Steve, what is the benefit of having a 2x squeeze on modern cameras?
So with the anamorphic and the 2x squeeze, we can talk about flare and we can talk about oval bokeh and we can talk about distortion and fall off. But for me, what it really comes down to is the shallow depth of field with a wide field of view, right? That's the beauty of it, and all of these other things come from that. Right, we're getting on the 60 millimeter, the math is easy, right? We're getting a 60 millimeter focal length lens, so we're getting the depth of field of a 60 millimeter T2, but we're getting the field of view of a 30 millimeter lens. And so that's where we get that nice wide screen, but still have that shallow depth of field, as opposed to just shooting on a spherical lens and cropping and letterboxing top and bottom. We lose that depth of field, and we lose resolution, right?
Of course, we are throwing resolution away. I mean, just masking the image. Okay, but this is not the only thing that you kind of introduced. Just before the NAB show, you also announced more focal lengths. So what are we talking about?
So with the reception that we've had and the pre-orders that we've had, we feel confident in saying that we're going to add some additional focal lengths to the line. So on the wide end, we're going to add a 28 and a 20 millimeter, and then on the telephoto end, there's going to be a 100 millimeter and a 135.
If you were in a situation that you had to choose one anamorphic lens, 2x squeeze, what would be your favorite one?
Right, it depends. So for me personally, the 45 or the 60, having something in that mid-range, the depth of field that you're looking, I may lean towards the 45 personally, just because I love wide angle. And so that 20 millimeter, if I'm shooting stills or if I'm shooting 20 millimeter field of view wide angle, that's what I like. And so that 45 gets us down to like a 21 and a half, 22 and a half millimeter field of view, while still giving us a 45 millimeter T2 depth of field, right? That nifty 50 look.
I love that you do the mathematics instead of me. But anyway, what mounts are we talking about in the series?
So the Proteus are all PL mount with an interchangeable EF mount. And then when we're talking about switching mounts, one of the cool things that these guys have is there is a flange back adjustment, so we can actually fine tune the depth of the flange back, as opposed to having to take the lens off, add a shim, check your focus, go back, put the lens back on, check it, that back and forth process. Here you've got 3 set screws, loosen those guys up, and you've got the flange back adjustment to, while the lens is on the camera and you're looking through it, fine-tuning that focus.
So it's like a back focus mechanism, but not as easy in broadcast lenses, but doable at home.
Doable at home, yes. I have done it myself, so anybody can do it.
Okay, so we know about the mounts. Let's very quickly remind our audience about the flares. What type or color of flares are we getting?
So flares, we've got options. We've got the traditional blue flare indicated by the ring on the side here. We've got an amber flare and then the silver flare.
And your favorite?
Silver, neutral. We saw last year with the nanomorphs, the silver flare were hugely popular, and I think I haven't seen any final numbers, but I think the pre-orders on the Proteus also do lean towards that silver anamorphic, or the silver flare. It's neutral, so you can throw a blue light into it and it'll flare blue, or you can throw a red light and it'll flare the color you throw into it. And that just gives you a little bit more flexibility on your output, what you're trying to deliver. Not everything needs to be a sci-fi, blue, crazy anamorphic look.
Steve, you come from a photographic background.
Yes.
Do you see any use for anamorphic lenses in photography, not video?
Absolutely. So there's 2 use cases. One is, again, wide field of view with a shallow depth of field. And so shooting panoramics or shooting like 2-to-1 aspect ratio. So if you want to shoot like a 6x12 panoramic print or something wide, certainly these guys are great. The other thing that you can do, and there's been floating around, is you can actually mount the Proteus lens sideways, and so then you're getting a horizontal or a vertical squeeze as opposed to the horizontal. And so on a Super 35 sensor, out of this, you're getting even a little bit larger than a full frame equivalent size sensor. Just with that squeeze and the look and the fall off. I've been shooting, I shot the 45 on a full frame sensor, and it vignettes because it's a Super 35 lens, but the vertical squeeze, it gives a look.
A special look that people are after, in the sense of we all want something unique.
It's something unique. It's a pop. It's unique in that when you look at it, you're a little confused by it. Why does it look interesting? Anamorphic in that way, like a cinematic anamorphic movie, it has that same feel to somebody who doesn't know, right? If you're not looking at it and understanding anamorphic, you're looking at, oh, it looks different, right? It's even when I pull out my camera, I can't get that wide depth of field of view, and so being able to shoot with stills, anamorphic ends up being really cool. It's a little bit more cumbersome to get set up and trying to figure out how to de-squeeze the shooting and stuff. But once you do, there is that look, and you can come up with some really cool stuff.
You just gave me an idea, but I'm happy to communicate with the manufacturers. Give us a vertical de-squeeze.
A vertical de-squeeze, yes. Even just a mobile app that you could put a photo into and have it de-squeeze horizontal or vertical, because at this point most of the mobile apps, they won't let you adjust aspect ratio on a photo, because why would you want to? Oh, you're going to distort it, you're going to change it. No, it's distorted, I want to undistort it. So, yeah.
The undistorted plugin, good.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Steve,
Thank
always
you so
really
much.
great talking to you.
Yes.
Guys, thank you very much for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you.